Good morning, everyone. I've been playing with Mina this morning and I want to show you my early combos that I found for the character. These might not be optimal, but they seem to be pretty close to what you want to do with her. The sort of combo meta seems to be coming out a little bit, which is cool. And they also seem to work in terms of DI or air control, but just based on my preliminary testing. If you know more, if I'm wrong, then please keep on commenting. I found some of this stuff because of great comments from you guys, so I'm really happy about that. Please keep joining in and let's learn all about this character together. I think I want to start with her down forward B. I'm not going to be using keypad notations, by the way, because I'm a Tekken player and that confuses me. But hopefully you know what I mean when I say down forward. I'm going to be calling the attack buttons by their proper names at least. But this is your main launcher, down forward B, one of your best moves. And it's a little bit of an unfortunate case because when you hit really close and they connect with the shaft of your staff, you get a kind of a small launch that isn't all that good. And it seems that the most reliable thing you can do for damage here is up AB. Seems to work consistently. It's only 45 damage, which is not a lot. And you have the notations down there on the left, by the way. They're very easy to understand in Soul Calibur practice mode, which is great. So much more sort of clear than Tekken where it gets all cluttered. You can get more here and we're going to talk about it later. It's a little bit finicky, but it sort of relates to her combo game overall. Now what you really want to do with down forward B is you want to hit them with the tip or the blade of your staff, because you get a much better launch when you do. And so it sort of solidifies the fact that Mina really wants to keep her opponent at the tip of this spear or this staff, because her attacks just get better when she does. And with this you get a really good combo. The combo you want to do when you get the proper launch is this. So that's forward B hold, which is this stab, and if you hold the B, it's going to cause this sort of spun slash bound state. If you look at Mitsurugi's legs, they sort of go up in the air and you can get guaranteed follow-ups. Forward AB is the ender that I do, but that can whiff at absolute tip range. Let's see if we can show you that. Like that. And so if you are at tip range and you want a consistent combo, you can substitute your forward AB ender for a down back B, which is going to give you 68. So it's 2 less damage. It's not a big sacrifice, but it is less. So if you want 100% consistency, go for the down back B. But the forward AB seems to be optimal here. So that's really cool. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is your while standing B. And while standing B is, as you can see, it's a very similar looking move to normal down forward B. But they're kind of different in terms of their sort of properties after the launch, the positioning, right? So what you can do to get good combos with Mina is you can do her down forward BK just frame, which I did right there. And you really need to just frame this with her, otherwise your combos aren't going to work. So it's something you're going to have to practice with her. I've been practicing it this morning and I can get it pretty much consistently right now. So it's not too difficult, but it is a little bit finicky. It's an aspect of the character that you're going to have to practice. And so in a lot of her combos, you can actually cause a bound using this just frame, and then you can get guaranteed follow-ups. So for example, while standing B, you can do this for a combo, 52 damage, really good, right? You can get this just frame off of your normal down forward B when you hit with the shaft up close, the crappy launch. Problem being that it's kind of inconsistent and difficult to do. You can see it whiffs right there, and you can try and sort of do a micro dash in between to make it more consistent, but I've so far found it a little bit too finicky to be reliable, and so I'm probably just going to use that for now. My tip would be wait for Mitsurugi's legs to come back down and he's sort of at the actual height of the kick before you do it. And if you do that, it seems to work a lot of the time, but not often enough. But 52 is so much bigger than 45 that I actually think it's yeah, a little bit unfortunate, but it definitely can work. And if you can teach yourself to do it consistently, great stuff. But off of the while standing B that we were talking about, you can do that and you can end with the forward AB as normal, or you can break dance. And when you break dance with Mina, you get really good combos, and you can break dance off of this launch. So what you want to do after the just frame, when you bound them, you're going to do forward BK, which is the break dance move, and you're going to hold. So forward BK hold, she does this 3-hit string where she break dances, and then you can get a guaranteed up AB for the ender. So it's going to look like this when it works. And you can also change the final hit from up AB to Rage Art, which is going to work as well, which is a really cool option. So she can use her Rage Art in combos, or Critical Edge if you prefer, right? And that's going to hit. And this breakdance move and this just frame really seems to be the sort of core of her combo game when she's not comboing using that stab, right? So yeah, this also works, by the way, off of your jumping B, which seems to be a really good move for you, by the way. It seems super good. Long range jumping launcher, you know. Let's try and get it here. There it is. Gives you 69, so that's really cool. And this breakdance, by the way, works off of stuff like back BK. I did it a little bit too slow there, but it does work. You can also do this when you get lethal hits and stuns. So say, for example, you get a back A, and you get a lethal hit with that, and you break Yoshimitsu's pants, or sorry, Mitsurugi's pants. You can break dance, or you can actually do the 4-4 B hold and stab them to cost the bound as well. You gotta be fast though. There you go. Down back B seems to be the best option there, and that gives you 61, which is actually really good damage, so that's probably what I would recommend. But it seems that, yeah, either bounding with this hold stab or going into break dance and up AB seems to be your main options for a lot of combos. This move, by the way, let's talk about this first. So if you do this, you knock them in the balls and it makes a comical sound effect that I don't like, but if you hold it down, she throws them over and you can break dance for crazy damage, which is really cool as well. Another launch that you have is the A+B, and A+B is a lightning move, a guard break move, and when this hits really close, you kind of have to change the combo, which is a little bit annoying. You can get that though, which is really good, so maybe that's just what you should do when you hit close. Super reliable 83 damage, but when you get tip range here, you can do that crazy combo that I showed you in the beginning, because if you do AB, after the hit, you press B plus K, which is this Sonic the Hedgehog move, that actually causes a sort of spike with a stun on the ground, which you can break dance into, and you can get crazy combos. So it's going to look like this. And you can do Rage Art there as well. That's 98 damage, which is really big. So that's super cool. There are other things we will eventually need to talk about in terms of lethal hits and stuns and counter hits, but for now I think the sort of off of the main launchers that you have, the jumping 2 or the jumping B, sorry, or the while standing B, you want to just frame this kick for your bound, and then you can do whichever ender you prefer. With this, when you get the hilt of the staff, I say go for this right now, or start practicing and getting really good at getting the just frame in this situation, which is difficult. And for any other situation where you have enough time to do 4-4 B hold, then that's where you're gonna want to do, and you can do down back B or 4-4 A B for the follow-up. Seems to be your main options for the character, at least as far as I've been able to tell so far. Thank you so much for watching this short video, and keep commenting about Mina. I'm really excited about learning this character right now, and out of the characters in the game that I'm enjoying the most, I think I've boiled it down to Mina or Astaroth for a main right now. They're really the two most fun characters to me. With Astaroth, you do like 2 hits and you get crazy damage for your combos. With Mina, it's a little bit more work, a little bit more finicky, but she's just super cool. And you should know, by the way, the most important thing is that any launcher into Pyon is completely consistent and obviously works fine. And you can also use any launcher you prefer into Pyon guard cancel, which is the most broken move in the game. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you again very soon.